Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Game 10 of the DC Classic here at Gonzaga College High School. We have a great matchup here between the St. Andrews Episcopal School Lions and the Coolidge High School Colts. I'm Paul Molinaro, class of 23, joined by John Ferreira, class of 2022. John, what are some key storylines we're looking for here in this matchup?
Yeah, Paul. So, both teams are coming off big wins yesterday. St. Andrews beat that St. John's Prep team, and Coolidge defeated Friendship Tech. And so now they're both a 500 record on the season, and today they're both looking to push into that winning record category. St. Andrews is 2-2 with Coolidge being 3-3, and that'll be a great way to get them set for the rest of the season as they push forward to trying to get good playoff seeding. And both of these teams play very different styles of basketball. St. Andrews puts up about 50 points a game this year in their 4 matchups. Meanwhile, Coolidge averages almost 70 a game. That's a big discrepancy, but don't let it fool you, because St. Andrews is a very stout defensive team. Coolidge has lacked a little bit at times this year, allowing their opponents to put up quite a few points as well. So it'll be an interesting game when 2 different types of basketball collide, and we'll have to see, who comes out on top in that regard.
And guard, a 6'5" sophomore, number 5, Scotty Hubbard. And forward, a 6'6" sophomore, number 3, Jimmy Brown. Also at forward, a 6'5" junior, number 11, Mason Jones. And then forward, a 6'9" junior, number 12, Marcel Werner. And the head coach for St. Andrews, Kevin Jones. And now, here are the afternoon starters for the Colts of Coolidge. At forward, a 6'5" junior, number 12, Kevin Denver. At guard, a 6'3" junior, number 2, David Coleman III. At one forward, a 6'5" senior, number 23, Malachi Starlin Davis. And guard, a 5'10" senior, number 10, Rich Marks. And in guard, a 5'10" senior, number 0, Amari Curtis. And the head coach for the Colts is Derek Washington.
There you have your starter lineup for the Lions and the Colts. John, who are some key players on each team that we should be looking out for this game?
Right, so you see Steph Walker, number 1, a senior for Coolidge, wasn't actually announced as a starter. We'll see if he gets in this game, as he should, considering he's averaging about 20 points a game and 20 rebounds a game this season. That's phenomenal. I actually, when I first saw that stat, I had to double take. I thought that might have been a typo, but I looked on multiple sources. It's confirmed. And this is a guy, 2-star forward, phenomenal teammate. His teammates love him. You look at his Twitter account, people, he's reposting all of his teammates' stuff. His teammates repost his stuff. They're a really tight-knit squad, Coolidge is, and that's one of the things that makes them so dynamic on offense. So we'll see that progress as they get into the game, and hopefully we see a little bit of Steph Walker in action, considering that the 6'8" senior is so dominant when he does play.
The tip-off goes to the Lions here now, starting their possession. Wide open 3 shot and no good. Rebound now for Calvin Coolidge.
Right, and so that's something the Lions really need to capitalize on this game is those 3-point balls, right? Because against a team like Coolidge who scores so much, you're going to have to match that production with some threes of your own. So hopefully as this game progresses, they get a little bit more dynamic in that regard.
Colts' first time with the ball here on offense. A lot of passing here now. Gets it out. Side and now back inside. It's going to be a foul here.
Looks like an offensive foul there. And that's something I think we can come to expect a little bit actually with this Colts team, considering how big they are. They put their starting lineup, a lot of their guys, 6'5", 6'8". You know, there's a lot of size in this team, and that tends to lead to a lot of penalties in the paint, actually on the offensive side. So we'll see if that kind of quiets down as the game progresses or keeps up like we just saw there.
Has that one stolen, and the Colts now get in, and the first points of the game go to Amari Curtis, the senior 5'10".
Yeah, Curtis is great, right? He's a strong contributor all around. He averages about 10 points a game, gets a couple assists, a couple boards, and that's why he's so valuable to this Colts team.
3 points there. Connor Robertson, the junior guard, and the Lions take the lead here early in this one. Colts back on offense now. Amari Curtis again, he scored the first points of the game, passes it out. Driving inside, no good. The rebound for the Lions. Connor Robertson again has the ball. Made the 3-pointer earlier. Passes it out to Hubbard. Back to Robertson. Shot's no good. Get the ball back though for the Lions. Robertson out to Hubbard. Back to Robinson for 3. Doesn't get it. Colts get the ball back. 3 points for the Colts, and it is good.
That was a great possession there on that Colts team last go around. That's what they love to do right there. Play fast, you know, shoot those outside balls, just, you know, have a better pacing than their other opponent. And that's probably what we're going to see throughout this game.
The and one drawn by Alex Saxton, the 6'2" junior for, David Bolding, the 6'3" junior for the Colts.
You know, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little surprised they're counting that actually as an and one. I would have thought that maybe was a little bit contact came a little bit before the shot. But you see, that's one of the things that the refs in this game, I think, tend to kind of call. We've seen that in the tournament years past. You know, these teams are high scoring. They let them play through contact, and that's where you get those and one baskets.
Bolding gets it in for the free throw. Robertson now passes it out. 2 men covering him. Wide open 3. Gets it in. Marcel Gardner, 6'9" junior, tallest player on his team.
Yeah, you know, I was talking earlier about the Colts and their big size. Oh wow, what a great shot! The Colts big size, but the Lions can match that, right? They have a 6'8" guy on the court right now, and 6'9" actually, Marcel Gardner, who just made that 3, and a couple 6'5" guys themselves.
3 from Kevin Nevers, another 3 here now.
Wow,
The
and
Lions.
the foul. He can make a 4-point play out of this.
A lot of 3-point shots going on so far, as we are here tied at 9-9. Scotty Hubbard at the line for the free throw. He's got it, and the Lions lead by 1. Curtis passes it back. Now a 3-point shot is no good. That was Kevin Evers who made the.
Oh, wow. Looks like went out of bounds there on the Lions, trying to get that rebound. So the Colts will retain possession. That's a big win for what would have been a pretty bad shot.
Kevin Evers again has the ball. Good move there and gets the basket. David Boulding.
Man, look at how agile that man is. He has a lot of step back, quick change of direction, change of pace. That's one of the things that makes this Colts team so dangerous, is how good their guards are.
The shot is no good there from Marcel Gardner. Back to the Colts on offense.
Interesting approach here. You saw for a second that this whole Colts team was staying on the outside, the perimeter. That kind of is indicative of how many 3-point shots they like to take. And then once they see the defensive scheme, they'll kind of drop back inside. Wow.
That's going to be the shot clock there. Long Colts possession.
That's one of the risks you run when you play such a perimeter offense like the Colts do. You're prone to passing it, trying to get inside or penetrate or get a good shot look, and that time the Lions defense was just too stifling. And that'll be kind of a theme of the game, really. Like as I said in the intro, the Lions, only 50 points a game on average on offense, but they actually have a positive point differential, implying that they allow less than 2 points a game on offense, or on defense, sorry. And that's kind of what we just saw there.
Robertson going back and forth. Robertson for 3, doesn't make it.
Wow.
A foul here.
Look at 3 shots. You can see head coach Derek Washington for the Colts there is pretty upset at the referee for that call. Thought there wasn't too much contact and that Robertson more leaned into him. Washington, is a very interesting coach. He's pretty young, actually. He's an alumni of Coolidge. He attended Lincoln University and played basketball there. Not too long ago, put up his own respectable numbers, both in high school and in college. And now he leads this Coolidge team. And so, he fights for his guys like you just saw there. And that's what they love him so much.
Robertson misses the first and makes the second free throw. Now on for his 3rd. Chance to make it a 1-point game. He does. Now the Colts lead 13-12, back with the ball.
Looks like Derek Washington wants to slow down this team a little bit, get the Colts, settled back in their rhythm and play the offense that they normally play.
Number 10, Ridge Parks gets to Nevers. Another backhand pass to Lafayette Williams. Back to Nevers. Williams,
Whoa,
deep three.
Deep three.
Doesn't make it. And 2 Lions players fall down on each other.
Looks like they're calling that a push on the Lions, and it'll stay with the Colts again. I mean, that was a deep 3. That was from the logo. And that's, like we've seen a lot throughout this game already. These teams are not afraid to shoot the 3 ball.
We saw the same thing in the last game where, sort of towards the end of the game, teams got more comfortable shooting 3 points. Lions back up with possession. Robertson inside to
There's a lot of contact down there. Looks like the refs are going to call it. On the Lions, actually, not sure exactly what the foul was there. But, that's got to be a frustrating possession for the St. Andrews Lions, considering that they had the numbers coming down in the transition and then weren't able to capitalize at all.
Timeout called here. So, John, we've seen that these teams have established 3-point shooting. What do each of them need to do defensively in order to prevent each team scoring?
Right. Of course. So the Colts are used to this type of gameplay. They shoot a lot of threes, and the Lions are actually a really good opposition to that sort of attack, considering how long and how rangy they are. Like I said earlier, they've got 6'6", 6'9", and 6'5" guys all on the court right now. That is a lot of wingspan to be kind of getting your hands in someone's face when they're shooting a three. And so I think that's kind of what the Lions need to do, is just make sure you're playing up on them. Obviously, the Colts have some good guys who can change direction and get down low with the ball, but that's kind of a risk you have to take when you're trying to defend the three. Play up on them, get your hands in their face, and kind of hope for the best at some point, because the Colts obviously do have some great shooters.
Colts will have the ball after the timeout. That's Amari Curtis. Curtis again with it, passes it out.
He really loves swinging this ball, huh?
Lots of
got a
perimeter
lot
passing.
of ball movement here.
Lafayette Williams out for three, doesn't get it.
You know, that was almost another shot clock violation. That would have been their second in the first quarter. A really surprising kind of pace for this Colts team that traditionally plays pretty fast and pretty aggressive to be taking so much time with the shot clock.
Amari Curtis puts it in for two after the rebound. Colts lead 15-12. Roberts now for the Lions.
You can see Roberts in here really directing the team where to go. That's what makes him so valuable to this squad. On top of his phenomenal three-point shooting, he's a really good leader and a really good director of the court.
Jaden Brown, no good for two off the rebound.
Looks like we're seeing a substitution here. Makai Day is going to come in for Kevin Nevers, who actually made a three for the Colts earlier in this game. We'll see what he can add. 6'3" junior, number 14. Oh, in and out.
And doesn't go in. Open shot there for Ridge Parks.
Look at Coach Washington again, kind of confused with what his team is doing there. The transition is kind of seeming to get to the Colts, though the Lions haven't been super successful in converting it. You only have to imagine that it could be a matter of time before they start finding their groove in transition and really making the Colts pay for these kind of bad misses and not hustling back on defense.
6'5" freshman Josiah Massaquoi at the line for the free throw.
Yeah, Massaquoi is that good, right? He's 6'5" as a freshman. He's the only freshman actually on this Lions team. He's an athletic playmaker. The Lions aren't afraid to look at him kind of in big situations. I think we'll see him throughout the rest of this game.
Massaquoi missed the first one. Now, second free throw doesn't go in either. The Colts back on offense.
I'd imagine the Colts want to get the last shot here. They might just swing it around the perimeter.
25 seconds remaining in the quarter. Outside passing going on. Lafayette Williams with the ball. Very
Deep three.
deep three. Doesn't go in. That was Rich Parks.
Oh, wow.
Parks has it again. Driving up. Passes it.
Oh,
Tries to get the
tough
shot in
miss.
and doesn't.
Great last possession, really, by the Colts. A few questionable shot choices in that deep three with that much time left on the clock. But it was a good look at the end. That pass under the bucket just wasn't able to convert.
The DC Classic has often had a focus on service and the idea of a man for others. The Gonzaga Fathers Club here allowing for this DC Classic to happen and have kind of established this culture of service. Service is very important to the school here at Gonzaga. There's numerous service opportunities going on now and in the future. The money raised here in the DC Classic is going to support many of the service projects here at Gonzaga.
Yeah, exactly right as the motto says, huh? Great basketball that supports good works. That's really what this tournament's all about. So a really good first quarter of basketball, actually. The teams are only separated by about a bucket or so. And we'll look to see if that can continue into the halftime.
Lafayette Williams passes it out. And going inside for the Colts now. 3 points, shot, doesn't go in.
Here's that transition again. Let's see if they can get it this time.
Doesn't get it in.
No, they
Tries
can't.
for the rebound.
They're calling that a jump ball. Looks like Makai Day might have wanted the foul there. A little bit of physical rebounding by the Lions. But that's what I'm talking about, right? That transition defense still has, or the transition offense, pardon me, on the Lions side is still yet to get it done. We'll see if they can kind of get it going as we get farther into this game. Oh, it's a good look.
For three, number 32, Xander Allaire.
So now they're calling that on Jarrell Anderson, a junior, 6'5", number 15. Traveling, yeah. Looked like he might have shuffled his feet a little bit there.
Colts will establish themselves back in possession of the ball with their 5'10 junior Lafayette Williams. He gets it to Pixley. Tight defense by the Lions. Now for three. Doesn't get it. David Boulding with third.
Pretty physical rebounding down there. That's kind of seemed to be a theme of this game, huh? Wow. 2 traveling calls in a row for this St. Andrews Lions team. You know, I think, Paul, we might have seen more fouls and stoppages in play in this first couple minutes of the second quarter than we did in the entire first.
I think so, and I think what each team needs to do is just kind of limit these fouls now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think what you're seeing here is there's a couple big guys, like I said, that tend to get called a few more, physical fouls, as well as there's the younger guys are on the court right now, and that's kind of what you're seeing too, a little bit less experience.
It's going to be Colts ball here. Number 13, Kevin Nevers will toss it in. Sorry, that's Nico Bethea.
Looks like starter Mason Jones just checking back in for the Lions here, trying to get something going. Well, the stoppages in play continue to kind of run here. We have another foul. I don't think we've actually seen a point scored in the second quarter yet.
Malachi Starling Dates, the 6'5" senior forward, will go to the line to shoot. This free throw is short, hits the rim of the basket. Now for his second free throw to make it a 4-point game. Gets it in that time, and we have some points now being scored here in this second quarter.
It's like a timeout here called by St. Andrews, trying to regroup, considering they have got a couple minutes now on a scoring drought. See if they can, refocus after this little stoppage in play.
So, John, you mentioned how no points are being scored in this second quarter, and now we've had a point scored, but it's just been one. So what can each team do on offense to kind of get back in the rhythm that we saw this in the first quarter?
Right. Well, I think the first quarter break obviously came with a couple adjustments. I'm sure both coaches are very stout, attentive, fixed up their team's defense, and that's why we're seeing a little bit lower of scoring through this first few minutes of the second period. To kind of get it going, I think, you're going to see a couple of the starters for each team check back in. Amari Curtis was kind of the ball handler for the Colts in the first quarter. Hasn't really played since then, so we'll see if he gets back in the game. For the Lions, they've already started to check in a few of their guys. Connor Robertson was obviously kind of their leader through that first quarter. See if he gets back in. He's a good three-point shooter. Get that offense going again.
Get a chance to see if each team can reestablish some offensive momentum here. Scotty Hubbard passes it inside to Gardner. Back out to Hubbard. Going inside.
Yeah, that's one of those guys, Gardner, 6'9". He is, a problem on the court for any matchup. There aren't many guys in this, high school league that can compare to that sort of size.
Ball comes out, and
Turnover
the Lions
there.
get it now. Kind of very small cluster of people there, and force a turnover.
Looked like a reach in there from Markway Pixley. So there we go. Jaden Brown for the Lions checking back in. That's one of those starters that's really valuable to their offense.
Scotty Hubbard passes it out. Now inside. Falling down as he puts it up. Doesn't go in. And neither does that shot. The Colts retain their 4-point lead, 2-point lead. Marcel Gardner to shoot from the free throw line. Gets his first one in. And now with a chance to tie this game. Gardner's got it, and we have a tie game here. Colts
Gardner
and
might
Lions.
be the most valuable player for St. Andrews right now. He's, actually hit a 3 earlier in this game, those 2 free throws, and maybe a couple other buckets in between. But he's really the reason St. Andrews is in this game right now. So I expect them to keep going to him as the game progresses.
Very impressive work from the freshman, Marcel Gardner, as the Lions
All
get
right,
the
here are
ball
these
back.
numbers again. Oh, wow, double dribbling. A lot of these kind of sloppy technical fouls early in the game for St. Andrews, right? We've seen those 2 back-to-back traveling calls, a double dribble now. All very preventable, and a lot of them have come in the transition, which is, again, seeming to be the root of St. Andrews' problems. And you see Amari Curtis has checked back in for the Colts, so let's see if they give it to him. Like I said earlier, he really does it all. He's a playmaker on defense and offense. He has, I think, 2 points this game, looking to get 4.
Curtis misses the shot. The Lions get the ball back. Not the chance to take the lead here. Going inside and putting up the layup. It doesn't go in. Now, Amari Curtis passes it out. Kevin Nevers for 3. Doesn't get it in. Rebound for the Lions. Stephen Walker working on Jaden Brown. Now inside, and the layup is good from Mason Jones.
That might be St. Andrews' first lead of the game, actually. We'll see if they can hold on to it. But right now, the Lions, aside from their transition offense and a couple of those sloppy fouls, have been playing a pretty solid game. They're really limiting the Colts' offense, which is, typically very on fire.
Pixley for three.
There you see what I was talking about. There's a three back to the Colts' favor. But that's kind of what you have to stay on top of if you're St. Andrews, right? You know that the Colts are going to keep shooting those threes, keep scoring those points. You got to stay aggressive on the defensive side of the ball.
Scotty Hubbard will draw the foul and go to the free throw line. We got 2 chances here and an opportunity to take the lead back from the Colts. Ties the game up. The Lions had their first lead of the game just a minute or two ago. The Colts took the lead back, but now the Lions have a chance here to take the lead. Hubbard, good for the second free throw. Amari Curtis, again on the far side of the court. Going to work, good block. Amari Curtis for 2.
I really think that the Colts' key to success here through the first half has been Amari Curtis and getting him the ball. Dynamic playmaker, really good change of direction, great speed. You see that's his 4th point there.
Robertson loses the ball thanks to Marquez Pixley, and the Colts will have the ball. Robertson passes it out to Pixley. Back to Robertson. Correction, Curtis. Another block. And Curtis.
Oh, now he's heating up. That's 4 points in a row here. Looks like the Colts might have a little bit of momentum. They're playing some physical defense.
Malachi Starling Dates with 2 great blocks.
Oh, wow. Look at this matchup right here.
Robertson passes it out. Spin move inside,
wow.
Gets it in.
Great bucket there.
Rebound for the Lions. Robertson.
And that was so impressive on that last layup there by, Mason Jones. I feel like that's tough to even call it a layup at that point. That was, something you might see in like an all-star contest.
3-pointer goes over and into the hands of Marquez Pixley. Amari Curtis going from side to side of the court. Now the shot doesn't go in. Rebound for the Lions. Robertson passes it out. That's Scotty Hubbard inside. Driving and getting it in. Mason Jones.
Man, Mason Jones is a great finisher, isn't he? He's had a couple of those tough layups now, underneath the basket. Great body control. That's what the Lions need to look for more as they get throughout this game, is Mason Jones and that down low, agility.
Curtis jump and no good.
So after going 2 for 2, Curtis is now 0 for 2.
David Boulding, 3rd, inside. Correction, Jaden Brown for the Lions. Pixley, deep 3, no good.
You can kind of see there just in the top left of your screen, Coach Derek Washington a little bit frustrated, dropped his shoulders when that 3 was shot. It's the way the Colts play the game. It's how they win, how they score so many points is those types of threes. But right now they're just not falling. And really all you can feel right now for Coolidge is just some sort of sense of dread, like when are these threes going to start dropping?
7 seconds remaining in this first half. At the buzzer, and it doesn't go in, that was Xander Alri on the shot. And we finish the first half of this game. Lions 26, Colts 23. John, what have the Lions done to take the lead of this game after they were trailing the Colts, but not by much?
Right. You know, the Lions are really forcing the Colts into their sort of game. Right now, these teams are on track. Both of them are right around 50 points. Coolidge is on track for 46, Lions on track for 52. But that's the type of game that St. Andrews wants to play, right? And the way they're doing that is they're just using their big guys, and they're using a few more of their skill set players under the basket. What you see happening here is Calvin Coolidge is shooting a lot of these threes. They're not sinking, unfortunately. St. Andrews Episcopal is going under the basket, getting these higher percentage of layups, and that's kind of the way this game just goes. The issue when you're a team that shoots or relies on these jumpers, these three-point shots, is that when they're not falling, there's not a lot you can really do about it. Meanwhile, St. Andrews, their play style relies on these, underneath the basket, get it inside, easy buckets, and that's far more controllable. And so right now I think what you're seeing is Coolidge is a little bit off. That paired with the fact that the Lions are really forcing them to slow down their pace and playing a really smothering defense, I think that's a lot of what you're seeing here.
We'll be back with the second half in a few minutes. Paul Molnaro and John Ferrero.
And many other worthy causes to include a week-long immersion in Camden, New Jersey. On behalf of Gonzaga's president, Father Lincoln, headmaster Tom Avery, Joe Riga, the DC Classic, and the Gonzaga community, congratulations, Patrick, and good luck in your future endeavors.
Welcome back to this matchup here between the St. Andrews Episcopal Lions and the Calvin Coolidge Colts. Paul Monero, John Ferreira. John, the Colts now trail by 3. What do they need to do to get back into this game?
Right, Paul. So, the Colts' biggest asset is their ability to score points. Like I said in the intro, 70 points a game on average. But they also do have size, right? 5 guys on their roster that are over 6'5". They don't need to be forcing threes. They, in the first half, it looked like they made a couple shots that might have not been the best decisions. There's no rush to be getting a 3 up, especially in this type of game where it's still so close. If I were, Derek Washington, coach of this team, I tell my guys in the locker room, hey, let's slow down, play a better brand of basketball, get some higher percentage shots.
The Colts will start on offense. Amari Curtis took a lot of shots in the first half.
Curtis is going to be key to this second half, right, because he's a great ball distributor as well as a scorer. So if they are able to get guys down low, I fully expect him to be hitting them with a good pass.
Shot up by David Boulding. Doesn't go in. Robertson for the Lions. Gets it to Jaden Brown. Back to Robinson. That shot there by Scotty Hubbard is no good. Outside for 3.
Another one of those threes. They just are not falling. Just like the first half. It's still early, obviously. It's plenty of time for the 3-ball to start going in for Coolidge here. But at some point, they have to consider maybe switching their play style just a little bit. Focusing a little bit more, getting down low, higher percentage shots.
Shot for the Lions there. Doesn't go in.
See, look at that. There is number 11, Mason Jones again for St. Andrews. He was a really key under the basket finisher for the Lions in the first half. You guys saw there he got a good rebound and was ready to put it back up and instead got to the free throw line. But that's kind of the story of this game, is the way that St. Andrews have been able to capitalize on higher percentage shots.
Jones's first free throw doesn't go in. Now with an opportunity to score the first points of this second half. He makes the free throw. Now extends the lead to 4 points for the Lions. Back on offense is the Colts. Nevers.
See,
deep 3 doesn't go in.
That might not be the best shot to be taking if you're Calvin Coolidge right now. I don't know the exact stats, but I have to imagine that their 3-point history is not the best over these last 10 or so attempts. And, pulling up from the logo, when you don't have to, it might not be the best idea. If I were them, I really would consider, if I was Coach Washington, hey, slow down, get the ball, inside, and just take them. We have our size.
Nevers out to Curtis. Ridge Parks gets his shot blocked. Lions have the ball.
Here's that transition again for St. Andrews. And they cannot convert, but they get on the second try.
Second try.
That's something that's a halftime adjustment that I'd be making, if I'm Coach Kevin Jones for St. Andrews. First half, the Lions had a lot of trouble getting that transition offense going, even when they had numbers. There you saw they were able to, all hustle down as a team and get a second chance bucket. And that's what they got to do to improve, their standing in this half.
Ridge Parks will throw it in for the Lions to number 23, Malachi Starling Dates. Parks to Boulding. Amari Curtis now gets the block from Malachi Starling Dates, and the ball will go to the St. Andrews Lions.
The more I watch Mason Jones, the more I'm impressed, right? I mean, this guy is relentless in every phase of the game. He's a 6'5" junior going against a lot of guys on this Colts team that are a lot bigger than him, and he is finishing strong and getting these rebounds.
Ridge Parks ran into and forced to the ground. But it will be Jaden Brown, actually. Brown's first free throw attempt short, hits the rim. Second attempt for Jaden Brown on the free throw. Puts it up and puts it in. 7 points separate the Calvin Coolidge Colts and the St. Andrews Episcopal Lions. Kevin Nevers got the pass. Now the ball's with Amari Curtis. Back to Nevers. A lot of perimeter passing right now for the Colts. He's a 2-point shot.
Another unlucky bounce there for the Colts. You know, you see, and I think one of the issues with their offense here, they pass the ball so much in the perimeter that they get themselves stuck in corners a lot, right? And this, against this St. Andrews team that's so good on defense and is so relentless, it's really hard to allow yourself to, you know, have offensive success when you're putting yourself in a position where it's hard to get the ball in play.
And John, you talk about the Colts' offensive struggles so far the second half. What do they need to do defensively to make sure that this game doesn't run away from them?
Well, I mean, right now they're playing with some good size, right? But the issue is, you know, they're playing one-on-one and not allowing a lot of help here in the down low. And you see now they've kind of actually adjusting that on the fly, but really limiting. Oh, that's a tough transition break for the Colts.
Makai Day lost the ball.
No, but I mean, really, if you're the Colts, you've just got to be a little bit more aggressive down low. You know, put a little bit more weight on those guys that are trying to body you in the post. Don't be afraid to get a little bit physical. The refs have done a pretty good job allowing this game to be a little bit physical, which I think always makes basketball a little more enjoyable to watch, to be honest. But if that's the way they're going to call it the game, play that way. And if you're the Colts, you can, you know, use a little bit more force when you're down low on some of these big guys one-on-one.
Up top and in for number 12, Marcel Gardner.
Yeah, Gardner's been phenomenal this game.
Nevers has a shot.
That one.
Now working inside and getting it in number 14, Makai Day.
I mean, wow. I think the importance of that basket cannot be stated enough. After that block by Gardner, after his bucket that had the Colts up by 9, to get another second chance board and score, other than you allow St. Andrews to go do something like that. But the Colts need to get a little bit more offensive production going right now, considering that they've only scored about 2 points since this quarter began.
Lions now leading by 9 here. To the free throw. Not going to be a free throw here. It's going to be Amari Curtis. Trying to toss it in. Gets it to Bolding.
Some nice dribbling here.
Out to Nevers. Nevers for the shot. Doesn't go in.
Get it. Looks like he never really got his feet quite set. You can definitely tell the presence of Gardner. That 6'9" frame really has an effect. Is really trying to have an effect on this Colts offense.
The Lions 3 is good, and they extend.
This game is starting to get a little bit away from the Colts here. They really need to find an answer on both the defensive and offensive end.
Curtis to Bolding. Bolding to Nevers. Back to Bolding.
They're trying to run a play here.
Heavy coverage on Bolding. Ball is lost by the Colts.
Wow, looks like Coach Washington decided to call a timeout there to ensure the ball stayed with the Colts. It's very clear. It's very clear that the Coolidge team understands the importance of how this this next series is going to go. They have to get points on the board to stay in this game. Well, St. Andrews, who is quickly becoming very hard to guard.
Well, if you were here for that last game, you saw that extremely entertaining finish between St. John's Catholic and Friendship Tech. Up next, Charlotte Christian and Archbishop Wood will clash here at 4 p.m. And then after that, the championship game between St. Francis Academy and Gonzaga, a marquee matchup between two top 20 schools.
Yeah, I mean, those are great matchups. Huh? I mean, you can't get better than that. St. Francis and Gonzaga both enter tonight undefeated on the season, both in the Max Preps top 20 basketball teams in the country. I mean, this is going to be a showdown. I'm sure we'll have a full house, and I can't wait to watch it and see how it plays out. But for now, let's see if the Calvin Coolidge Colts can get back on track, because the way things are shaking out, it is not looking that way. Oh, man, that's that 6'9" frame of Gardner against Curtis, who's only 5'10", almost a foot difference between the two. Never really had a chance there.
Amari Curtis going to try to toss this one in again. Gets it to Nevers. Out wide. And just get it in. Ball's on the ground for a little bit now. Picked up on the lines.
Coach Washington is livid on the sideline, stomping his foot against the court. Both probably a mix of the fact that his team wasn't hustling to get that, loose ball, and the fact that the shots weren't able to fall.
Colts trailing by 12, have another chance on offense to get back into this game. Amari Curtis passes it back out. Bolding back to Curtis. Rebound's going to go to the Lions there. Another tough break on offense for the Colts.
I think what I'm starting to notice here is that the game plan has, in fact, changed, right? The Colts are trying to get it down low, but the issue is that they're playing a lot of isolation ball. You saw in that last position, Curtis maybe held onto it and dribbled around for close to maybe 10, 15 seconds to try to get a look there that ultimately didn't go in. And that's kind of been the story of this third quarter, and why maybe the Colts' shots haven't been falling as well. Just because their passing isn't quite on the same level that it appears St. Andrews is. And, the fact that they're trying to get it down low isn't enough. You have to combo that with, passing the ball and getting good ball movement and getting separation in the post. Because this issue with the isolation sort of game is that it draws in all of the St. Andrews defense to swarm all of their players converging on the basket.
Marcel Gardner makes both of his free throws and extends this to a 14-point lead by the St. Andrews Lions.
See, well, now you find an interesting balance, right? Because there you saw that Marquay Pixley had the look at a three, a very open look actually, that he was shooting earlier in the game and chose not to go for it there. So now it's a question of, does Coolidge still have that confidence to be shooting those threes like they were earlier in the game, despite the fact they haven't been falling? Or now are they trying to go dependent on this, post game that hasn't been working for them that much either in the third quarter? And it's starting to appear, 14 points, there's about a quarter left with basketball to play. You might have to start going for those threes again after not having much success in either department throughout this first part of the game.
So there that the Calvin Coolidge Colts able to get the ball on the turnover and now will go to the line to shoot. That's Kevin Nevers, number 12, the 6'5" junior. Makes his first free throw as the Calvin Coolidge Colts try to get themselves back into this one. Makes his second one. Lead is back down to 12. Ball stolen again by the Colts. Another chance here at points. Good play. Doesn't get
tough
it in.
not to convert. Look at that. Coach Washington covers his eyes with his hands. Oh, no, don't let me see that. Oh, another tough miss.
That was number 13, Josiah Massaquoi.
Man, two tough, good looks on the basket back-to-back, both one by the Colts and one by the Lions. I mean, you can just see the agony of that Colts bench. It's kind of the story of the second half, though, isn't it? Have the chance, it just doesn't fall.
It definitely has been, and the
Around
Colts
in the fourth quarter.
don't want to be seeing this one run away from them now.
So then on the opposite flip side of that, Colts bench, you have a bunch like the Lions, fired up. Playing this game, last game of the DC Classic tournament for them, everything they've got.
Holden Pierre Lewis will go to shoot from the free throw line. Doesn't make his first one. The 6'6" sophomore forward. His first time at the line this game and makes the second one.
So his third quarter is winding down here. There's a three that you would have saw earlier in the game, and now it falls. Pardon me. That's what the Colts are going to need going into this open. There's a good.
Kevin
Nice.
Nevers with
That's
a three.
exactly what
Colts get the ball
needed.
back.
Can he hit it
Nevers
again?
again for three.
Oh.
Doesn't go in.
Tough look to finish that quarter, but a great change in momentum for the Calvin Coolidge Colts. That almost became a very, very intriguing last 30 seconds or so, huh? They almost put up 6 points. Thanks to Kevin Nevers, huh?
Yeah, and John, you mentioned kind of how the Colts have to go down low, and there's all sorts of things that they need to do on offense. They've been changing their game plan a lot this game. Is there really anything that they can do concretely that you think will get them back into this game?
Yeah, I mean, let's not panic here. 10 minutes in a game of basketball is certainly not insurmountable. They have plenty of time to get back in this game. And if that last 30 seconds was indicative of anything that we'll see in the fourth quarter, then they're on track to do what they need to do. Like I said earlier, the key, right, is finding that balance between shooting the three ball that they're so used to playing with or trying to go down low. But considering that they're playing kind of isolation one-on-one ball when it comes to trying to get a high percentage basket under the bucket, I may as well just go for the three, right? Considering those starting to fall, you're down by 10, you know, stick to your game style at this point. So they're going to get the ball again here. Oh, wouldn't this be crazy, right? A three right here, cuts it to 7. At that point, it's anyone's game.
All of a sudden, the Colts will be back into this one.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, far crazier things have happened than a 10-point comeback.
Williams out to Pixley. Back to Williams. Williams, three. Gets it in! And it is a 7-point
Here's what we're talking
game.
about.
Lafayette Williams.
Oh, my goodness. Back to 7. The tides have turned. You can hear the energy in this gym. Oh!
And a steal for the Colts again.
Oh, gets stripped out of his hands.
Back-to-back steals
This
here.
is crazy basketball, isn't it? Look at this. Coach Washington's getting his team fired up now, telling them to clap for the guys on the court. Oh.
That one goes in. Mason Jones.
Mason Jones, man, that guy is on fire.
Marquette Pixley again here with Amari Curtis not on the court. This ball is going to go to the Lions.
Tough turnover by Pixley there.
Trying everything to get it away. Now they do have it. The Colts, that one's just going
Throw
to
it right back.
sail off the court.
Tough, right? You're playing, you cut it down to 7. Almost get a turnover right off of that. then allow a bucket to Mason Jones, who we all know is phenomenal into the post. Then another turnover like that. I mean, this is a back and forth fourth quarter, and the Colts just need to string together some momentum. They're starting to get it in bursts, but they need to get, a long run to get back in this game. Honestly, a really good foul. I mean, you saw Mason Jones was sitting, camping, wide open on that left block. And that was, for him, pretty much a guaranteed basket. And instead, it'll sit on the floor.
It will be Mason Jones throwing the ball in for the Lions. Gets it to Robertson.
You see Kevin Nevers there on that inbound, was trying to do anything he could to keep the ball out of the hands of those Lions players.
Jaden Brown puts it in for 2.
That is a gut punch for a Coolidge team that started to think they might have some momentum. I mean, this is just such great poise by St. Andrews, right? I mean, how do you answer 6 straight points in a close game like this? Well, give Mason Jones the ball, let him score, then get an and 1 with Jaden Brown. Turns into 3 points.
Brown sinks the free throw.
This is just great basketball on both sides that we've seen this last 2 or 3 minutes here. See if the Colts can answer. Deep! Oh.
Doesn't go in. 3-pointer attempted by Lafayette Williams. Robertson working on Pixley. Pixley very tight on the coverage.
Pixley's done a good job. Robertson's been pretty quiet since that first quarter where he had a couple of baskets. Oh, and another and 1. That is
Scotty
killer.
Hubbard.
I mean, this is a testament to this Lions team, right? You see the Colts dribble a lot. They have a couple scores, and they really push those scores to the basket. This Lions team, on the other hand, has so many contributors. These last 3 trips down to their side of the court, right? We've seen Mason Jones with that tough basket. Then we see this and 1 and that from Scotty Hubbard, and then we saw Jalen Brown also get an and 1. Those are 3 different guys who have accounted for the Lions' last 8 points.
Amari Curtis back into the game as Malachi Starling Dates tries to
look at
go up
Coach
top.
Washington. Oh, he is so, he cannot believe what he is seeing. I mean, this is the team that only lost to St. Francis Academy by 3 points. It's got to be so hard to watch. But, the St. Andrews Episcopal Lions are just playing so well.
Timeout here.
Right, so as you might have seen, heading actually in your frame into the last couple minutes, we saw one of the upcoming teams walk into the gym. So up next we got Charlotte Christian Academy versus Archbishop Wood. A school from North Carolina, Pennsylvania, out of state, all converging in the DC Classic, Carmody Center. I'm sure it'll be a great matchup for this 3rd place game. Walk away with some sort of podium spot, a lot on the line. Both teams have played well throughout these first 2 days of the tournament, looking to finish strong tonight. And then obviously, the one we're all waiting for, 5:45, Sunday, championship. St. Francis Academy from Maryland versus Gonzaga, the host of this tournament. As we've already said, 2 teams that are members of the top 20 men's high school basketball teams on Max Preps' list. Neither has lost a game. Both have elite scores. This Gonzaga team has multiple college commits, just as the St. Francis Academy does. So this will be a really phenomenal matchup, and I cannot wait to look at it.
.13-point game. St. Andrews Episcopal leads Calvin Coolidge High School. Pass out there to Roberts. Had to go back for it.
So now if I'm St. Andrews, right, if I'm Coach Kevin Jones, I'm telling my team, hey, slow down. Let's not rush the ball. We're up 13 points against a team we know can shoot threes. Let's keep it out of their hands. Don't even give them the chance to make a comeback with 5 minutes left. And that's a good example of it, you know, almost a shot. It was a miss, but they used the entire shot clock, which is exactly what they want to do.
3 points shot from David Bolden is no good. The Lions get the ball back. Connor Robinson out to Scotty Hubbard. Now to Marcel Gardner, the 6'9" junior.
Another foul on this Colts team. It's tough to really mount a comeback. You know, we look at the last 5 possessions for St. Andrews. I think 3 of them now have resulted in trips to the charity stripe. So that's really tough to combat if you're the Colts, because these are easy buckets now that the Lions are making. They're a great free throw shooting team, as you see there. And, you know, this game is slowly starting to slip away from Coolidge. They'll have a couple more opportunities in these next 4 minutes to start sinking some threes. But they really need to clean up their fouls and start sinking their own shots.
Jaden Brown makes the first, misses the second. Back on offense is the Colts. And Bolding cannot come up with the score.
There you can see Coach Washington telling his players on the sideline what they need to be looking for. Certainly already looking ahead to future games, making sure that they can improve upon today's substandard performance.
6'3" junior guard David Bolding Jr., or David Bolding III, makes his first free throw. Now on for his second. Bolding makes both. Now a 14-point game.
So you'll see that the Colts are starting to invoke some of this press. But now the Lions broke it, and they get a nice finish there. And that is the game that you play when you try to press a team like St. Andrews, who is so good at moving the ball. Wow. An offensive foul called on the Colts. Coach Washington cannot believe it as he stands basically at the three-point line as if he's a player. Hands on his knees, bent over. He's tired like his players are, but he's tired of watching this game. So they broke the press again. Now they'll have numbers.
Jaden Brown passes it out to Robertson.
Yeah, now here's where the waiting game starts, right? Let the clock run. Don't rush anything.
It's going to be the
call that a jump
Lions ball. Mason Jones will toss it into the court. Now, Connor Robertson will replace him. End of the shot clock, and Scotty Hubbard, very deep shot, doesn't make it. Colts take a timeout here. 3 minutes and 4 seconds remaining. Down 51-35. So John, the Colts here trailing by 16 points, but we've talked a lot about how they can come back to this game. What do the Lions need to do? How do they need to take this game home and secure the win?
Look, I mean, 16 points, 3 minutes. If I was a Lions fan, I feel pretty good about myself. If I was the Colts, I would be feeling like I want to get on that bus and go home and get ready for practice on Monday because, look, it's 16 points in 3 minutes. For a team like the Colts, who can traditionally shoot threes very well, I wouldn't say is an impossible feat to overcome. However, the way that they've been shooting the ball tonight, I would not be optimistic if I was Calvin Coolidge or head coach Derek Washington in finishing this game out strong. But honestly, a game like this early in the season, right? The Colts are only 3-3, maybe about to go 3-4. But early in the year, they have plenty of time to right the ship. And this is a really valuable game for a lot of reasons. One, you kind of see your weaknesses. You get to face another team that clearly is maybe a little bit better than you are. But you also get the chance to maybe put in some new faces this late in the game, right? In a blowout kind of fashion like this is sort of starting to become. You have the chance to put in a couple of your younger guys, see what they're made of, get them some experience for a later run in the season. And that's what can be so valuable about this sort of late game experience when you're still only 3-3.
Curtis to Nevers to Bolding, and Bolding is foul there on Marcel Gardner. Pixley to pass it in for three.
It's a deep
is
three.
Nevers and doesn't get it.
That is the story of today, huh? A three like that. Good shot selection? Probably not. But in the moment, you need it. I get the gist, but the attempt was just not there. And that's really representative of what we're seeing now as the Colts are down 16 with 2.5 minutes left. Oh.
3-point shot. Scotty Hubbard, no good. Layup is good there by David Bolding. 14 points separating these two teams now. Robertson out to number 3, Jaden Brown.
They're going to call a defensive foul here on the Colts. This is always a tough part of the game, huh? If you're the Colts down by 14, I mean, less than 2 minutes left. Are you going to come back? Most likely not. And it's one of those cases where where's the balance between trying to foul them, playing aggressive defense, and kind of giving up? And obviously, we wouldn't expect any team in this tournament that's been so competitive and so well played to give up. And then the box score might only show this game to get even worse, as inevitably the Lions are going to head to the free throw line a couple more times in this next minute and 49 seconds like they are right now.
Jaden Brown makes his first free throw, a number of substitutions by both teams.
So here, this is what I like. They put Lafayette Williams in for if you're Coolidge. That's what they just did. Check in some of these new guys, give them a shot, and see what they can do, and give them some game experience for later in the season.
Brown sinks his second. Here's David Bolding to Pixley.
Oh, I mean, look at this Lions team. This is a statement win for them. They're playing half-court press up
Curtis
by
puts
16 points. We'll make that 14 now. But, I mean, it has got to just be one of those things. If you're Coach Kevin Jones for the St. Andrews Episcopal School Lions, you're telling your team, soak this in, guys. This is going to right the ship, get us on track to finish the season strong. I mean, last year, the last time the St. Andrews team played a season, they went 24-4, right? I mean, that is incredible. And they were ranked 11th in the Washington Post heading into this weekend, right? They had every starter on their last season's team play D1. This is a young group if you're the Lions. You have high expectations and you're used to performing well. You're telling your team, Coach Jones, hey, let's not let our foot off the pedal. We're going to carry this momentum into the next game and into the one after that and into the one after that until we get to the playoffs. And that's what they're doing right now. Up 14 points, pressing on a half-court, inbound play. You got to respect it.
Great job by the St. Andrews Lions to pull out here in front after we had a close game, 26-23. They led here at halftime. Now extended that 3-point lead all the way to a 14-point lead as we wind down here in this 10th game. 2 more games left in this tournament. 2 very exciting games upcoming. Marcel Jones will be fouled there. Sorry, Mason Jones.
So these foul shots are going to keep coming. What subs do we have on now? We see Rich Parks looking like he's going to check in. He's had a pretty quiet game, although he is typically one of the Colts' main contributors.
Mason Jones' first free throw doesn't go in. Jones' second does go in, and now the Lions lead 15-40 over the Calvin Coolidge Colts.
You know, I don't think I could pick an MVP of this game for the Lions because St. Andrews has been playing so well in all departments. But if I had to pick someone that I was super impressed with, it has to be Mason Jones. I mean, this guy has played every phase of the game as well as you can. He's a 6'5" junior. He's finished the basket really tough. Great defense. He's even had some good jump shots. I mean, that's all you can ask for as a coach. A guy like that, he hustles, and it's a really key piece to any team that's going to have long-term success. Luckily, they're going to get another year out of him no matter what because he's only a junior, so he'll only continue to grow. But today he has been really impressive.
Connor Robertson gets fouled, makes his first free throw. Almost basically all the other players on the Lions on the other side of the court misses his second. Driving up to the basket but not making it. Number 0, Amari Curtis.
You know, on the opposite end of that spectrum for Mason Jones has been Amari Curtis. Amari is usually plays super well, contributes in all phases of the game, and he hasn't played necessarily bad today, right? I mean, he had that stretch, he was putting up a couple good floaters, but a lot of his shots just haven't fallen today. I think I want to say he's scored about 6 points. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's about 6 points on, you know, a fair amount of attempts, and it's not his fault. The St. Andrews Lions have just been playing such good defense and have prevented him from passing the ball and distributing it like he normally wants to. And, you know, it's just tough when you're on a team like that where your play style is so dependent on shooting deep balls that aren't falling on a given day and playing in a style where you just can't pass the ball as well.
57-40 the score.
Oh. Backcourt violation there. And I mean, as I said, this game hasn't been pretty for the last quarter or so, quarter and a half, but the box score is going to make it look even worse. I mean, right now it looks like the Colts are on pace to lose by about 17, but throwing a couple more fouls that are inevitably going to pop up, we might see a 20-plus point win for the St. Andrews Episcopal Lions.
Robertson deep 3. No good.
Oh, that is such a tough break. A really tough break for the Colts there. I mean, the fourth quarter is not going well for them in any regard, but to not get for the Lions to shoot a 3-point shot up 17 and then to get their own offensive rebound, that is just gut-wrenching.
Jaden Brown fouled there as he goes to the ground. Correction. The Colts will actually have the ball here. It's a 3-point shot for Nevers. Doesn't go in.
they're just going to let the clock run out here. Show some good sportsmanship. That's what the DC Classic is all about, right? As we said earlier, great service, great works, and that's how this game is going to end. The Calvin Coolidge Colts are going to fall to the St. Andrews Episcopal School Lions by a score of 57-40.
Well, that is all for us here. This 10th game of the DC Classic at the Carmody Center here at Gonzaga College High School. The St. Andrews Episcopal Lions defeat the Calvin Coolidge Colts. I'm Paul Molinaro, John Ferrara. Be sure to join us for the next 2 games here.
Yeah, great stuff on the slate. Can't wait.
As we conclude this great tournament.
Yeah, and you can just see really briefly here. Up next, Charlotte Christian, Archbishop Wood, 3rd place game. And then tonight, 5:45 p.m., be there, St. Francis Academy versus Gonzaga. Surely a matchup that is going to catch a lot of headlines.
Stay tuned to the DC Classic Facebook page or the DC Classic YouTube page for tonight's games. And thank you for being a part of the DC Classic at Gonzaga, where great basketball that supports good works.